need a kind of certificate from India, like you're a physiotherapist and you're good enough, you haven't done anything. You need a certification from IAP only.
To put as a PT rather than DR in front of
$1 million question.
always don't think if I get this certificate I'll do this thing, because certificate, it's a paper which shows who you are, but that doesn't mean that knowledge will be in you unless until you worked for it. I'm working with you, you are my senior therapist. What I'll always like, I expect you to give me some knowledge. Anupriya, do this. I'll be like, I'm ready to do this. But when we are doing on our own, now I need to take responsibility.
Okay, now we have lots of opportunities. Way back we had nothing. Mainly people doesn't know about biomechanics while
biomechanics.
studying.
True.
But you know the importance of biomechanics after coming to practice.
True. That's very true. Hello everyone. So today, welcome to our second podcast, and we invited actually Janani ma'am and Vignesh sir.
Yes.
Oh, but I have no clue on that, and I do know my like my friends. I'm not comparing to my students. My
See,
friends do.
students' first point of contact from the third and fourth year, the final years, right? So their first point of contact is their own institution. I'm not mentioning anything. So it's like their own institutions they are in contact. We reach out, like as association people, we reach out to people, and we reach out for free workshops, free guidelines.
Yes. We're conducting free workshop for more than 10 years, right?
10 years. We haven't maybe a minimum charges for the refreshments, for the arrangements that we make. That can be like minimum. People who know us will know it. Actually, it is not about the money that plays around
back
here.
on.
So it's about the cause that we do.
Not about
the
workshops.
focus.
Other things also.
That's what I'm saying.
Activities.
I'm just finishing it off, on that way. So it's about the activities also we do, like many activities to involve people. Like we search for what the new age people will think, as like bringing in influencers, bringing in a sport event. So likewise we
It is
kind
also
of
evolving.
think about and
Being
reach
as
the
a group, we
institution.
can do many things.
But the institutions will not gain back. Some of the institutions only will be like, very
Open to you.
open to it,
Open
and
to you.
kind of they come up. And association is something you have a backup kind of. It is not a registry. If you have a clinical, clinic, and you have to register. It's not about that. It is not about a guideline. So it's about a backup that you have as a profession. Like if you're going to abroad, like going abroad, and you need a kind of certificate from India, like you're a physiotherapist and you're good enough, you haven't done anything. IAP addressed that. You need a certification from IAP only. No other association gives it. It's called the good standing certificate.
Oh my goodness.
You need that certificate to go abroad and practice as a physio. Study or practice physiotherapy abroad. You need a certificate that IAP only has to give. None other association gives it.
But actually, this point never made anywhere clear, I guess. That's why people weren't aware of it. If something kind of like, for example, if we need to go to abroad, we need to get a letter from our institution. Okay, that is ideal. But we need to get a good standard certificate from IAP, which is a big deal, but no one knows about it.
IAP gives it. It is not a big deal right now.
Right now.
Actually, it's like kind of online. Everything is online. It's just a link that they have to, go ahead and fill some form, and the IAP gives it. It isn't like kind of a huge process and all right
It
now.
was a huge problem.
It was
Back then, now because of internet,
everything, yes.
it made it very easy. So, what are the benefits the students will get? Like what are the benefits IAP is offering for students, physio students?
Yes.
Research grants are there. Research grants, as in they can
What
get
it actually
research grants. Not for the students basically. Maybe the
No,
masters,
students,
PhDs. Not for bachelors also they give, but
Masters,
they
like
kind of,
whoever
yeah.
reading masters and PhDs.
Research
scholars.
grants, right? Like when they do a research, they need some money and they need a backup. If they and also IAP supports that.
Fund them?
Funding.
Yes.
Oh, IAP fund for their research.
Grants, yes, they provide research grants. And that actually has a team of professors.
They have a
and they
panel.
have a panel there, and they decide among it. They have to apply for it, and they'll decide among
So anyone doing masters or PhD want to have a research grant, they can apply on IAP.
Yes.
Recently, one of the senior most physiotherapist, one of the senior most, she actually didn't know about this grants, and she wanted to come, and we shared the details and everything. Mom, this is there and you can go ahead, kind of. And then she was like, oh my god, I didn't know. So recently
See,
also
being
one.
in a growing profession, there are lots of
It's a
glitches.
Yeah,
yes,
true,
true,
very
true,
true.
true.
So that's what, it is not about knowing about everything. It's about, like, when you start, when you want it, you learn it, right?
I'm
So,
glad now because of this mode, some people will definitely will
so
know these.
exactly. So IAP is something which,
Not
has a
only us,
backup.
there are many people doing these things in Chennai. But
It's not
maybe
not
not aware of,
so
Yeah,
aware.
very
why
true.
people are not
I
aware.
know. See, IAP membership
See,
is
I was
something.
impressed by few of those people and I came into it.
Into this. So there is a
Their work
huge
are not recognized actually.
I guess people validating social media and other stuffs more rather than validating person's
True,
work.
true.
Yes, yes.
Person's work,
Very true,
right?
very true, very
Very
Right?
true.
true. The truth came out right now.
That's true. Because that's
Very.
the hard part. So you might have many things, but you do need certain other validations to be proven. So for example, that is what the question we were discussed. Like, do MPT required like to be like not like I don't want to say successful physiotherapist, but if for someone who's doing a UG, do they definitely mandatory need to do a
I
master's?
think we both may differ in this question.
Like
Yeah.
like both of your
I
perspectives.
my
It's like about
perspective is
perspectives.
I'll say when you are into clinical practice,
Practice.
it's not a need. For sure, it's not a need. I think it don't make much difference. BPT and MPT.
PT.
When you're a
That's what I'm
clinician.
thinking.
Clinical practice.
But
Clinical practice.
obviously, if you're going to academics,
Academic side,
for
we
your
need
growth, you
masters.
should do masters and
Masters.
PhD. It's mandatory PhD. You should be a principal or dean. It became mandatory right now.
It
So,
depends upon the
yes,
student's goal.
Yes.
If you want to start their
But
clinical
into
practice,
clinical practice, I would suggest not to go for MPT and do practice.
first
Yes.
before selecting a
Yes.
master's. If they are interested, they can
Yeah,
do.
yes.
But
See,
It
for
depends upon person to person.
person again.
I ask my interns, like during their internship, I ask them, like, start writing your resume. I want you to start write your resume first. I kind of have a conversation like this only, because when they come in, so people who have attended the internship like quite know that. So start writing your resume and start filling it. Maybe a half page or one page it might be right now, but you'll think about it when it comes to 10 pages.
True, true.
Start adding your papers, start adding, like, doing. See, at least to fill that resume, you'll do something kind of,
She would ask
that's
me
how.
to create a profile.
Exactly. So
When I looked at both of your profile, I'm like, I do had a profile. So when someone asks me send your profile, it will be like a single page. I'll be like this, then.
So, yeah.
When I looked at both of your profile, I'll be like, what I did so far, how I managed.
see, that's what I'm saying. As physiotherapist, like,
We
as
didn't
an.
add something else.
Yeah,
also.
that's an on your
It's
profession.
lot. That too very different. Not typical
Yes, yes,
resume things
Exactly.
also.
So it's like, when I tell them that, so the resume you need to prepare, it can be a half a page right now. You will be like, oh my God, what to fill, kind of. Let it be. So after 5 years or 10 years, you won't have that space or, kind of thing to add on. So then you decide on whether you want to be a clinician, whether you want to be an academician, or you want to work somewhere. As a job, like, you want to go somewhere and work or anything. So decide on this. You don't decide on, like, kind of the money that you get, or the idea, the knowledge that you're getting. Gain knowledge from everywhere. You sort
See,
it out
nowadays
for
we
your
have
own
lot of
passion.
options. Actually, internship also, colleges are putting in many places.
True. Wide
Those days we used
departments,
to go.
wide
Yes,
range of
yes.
departments.
No,
So
no.
when-
Clinics. I'm saying to clinics.
okay.
So you can get into practice, contact with
different
many physios.
purpose.
Exactly. So,
So,
when
what for example, who a person specialized in neuro, you can work with them
So
for
that's what I'm
15 or 20
coming to
days.
basically. So clinicians, academician, whatever you choose, there lies your goal. As he said, when it is a
That's
clinician,
where you get interested.
yes, you start practicing. You see more patients. You do house visits, or kind of. I'll come to that later.
Later.
The house visits, yeah, the house visits, or like you're seeing some patients personally also. That is different, and you document it. That is the clinical wise. If you're gonna become a clinician and open a clinic. If you want an academician, you go towards MPT, choose your specialty, choose the research that you want to do, go for PhDs, write more, read
You
more.
gave me the advice to me as well when I said
So
no.
the research that you have to do, publish more papers, write so many books, and talk with more clinicians. So the current practice, right? So this and all depends on it. The clinician, as I told you, this is the route line you have to take. As an academician, if you want to choose, if you want to teach and everything, this is the line you need to choose.
Masters.
Write, make some journals, articles, write more, add some blogs, websites,
True, true, true.
read a lot. So this is your academic path, and then you become like, if you want to work somewhere, job, like you don't need to open a client. I'm not financially sound right now. Or like as you said, I need to gain some experience. You go work with the right person in the right institution. True. That is
actually,
what I.
Very true.
what I am coming to say is now MPTs become very costly. So
Now
with
he's
that money
coming
you
to the
can
point.
open a clinic and you can do a very good practice.
Practice. True.
Seriously.
Actually, again, it depends. Like
Yes.
if they are financially sound, they can do. If they are
I
not
would suggest to my students
So he is
who,
doing it.
who are coming to interns the
Yeah.
same thing.
So
If you
it's
are,
not that he's doing it, I'm doing it. Choose your,
Your own
goal
thing.
wisely.
no, I seriously believe it doesn't make much difference.
When people asked me like why you are not doing a master's, first I had a plan. To be honest, I had a plan by third year I want to do a master's. But financial reason plays a very important role. That too, when it comes to women, your family will be like, okay, stop it.
Are you doing
Let's
it right now or after marriage? Are you doing it here or at your husband's place?
There are like not many questions. How even if you say like you're gonna do masters after marriage, how you will handle your kids. So that too, when it comes to a profession, that many things plays a huge role, right? So I thought I wanted to do masters. Then family said like, okay, we'll take some time. Then I thought like, okay, let me not do it. Then I wanted to try with my UG degree. What and I can't do by UG degree, because I do feel like for have a career, it's very sufficient to go with UG degree. And now I'm financially sound to do a master's, but right now I'm thinking that okay, let me see what and all I can do with my UG degree. Like I'll always think like, okay, let me try something different. Okay, I'll be doing masters, then I'll follow the same. There should be a USP of what I do, right? So I'll be like, okay, let me do something different. And there's a lot of struggles along with it. Many areas, the first question, are you done masters? That's the first question. If you are not, you will be like, neat away, they will remove that from there. But I just wanted to see.
But I think you have chose the right path of doing
Exactly.
this.
So this
you,
is
you can
kind
continue
of,
this and you will get the opportunity automatically.
Opportunities.
that's what I'm saying. You're right now young. It's kind of a bud right now. So when you gain experience and when people are saying, see, even when we are like, coming out with an opportunity, we were discussing it out. Right. When you started, we haven't seen your, profile or anything. So we were going through some of the reels, like kind of coming through, and, we were discussing, yeah, this is good. So we had that. So maybe the same mindset will be with people like, who are, seeing it.
we would give
That's how
opportunities to
you get
people
give.
like you.
Yes, basically.
Initially, yes.
Right.
Everyone will call for a speaker from a old or a senior person, but we'll give opportunity to young. But but their knowledge compared to others, it will be
excellent.
Different
Yes.
view
A
might
perspective will be
Yes.
there.
different. That's really true.
Actually, in the last time when we were like, we had to launch this, we need to do this and all. It came up with PED talks. We wanted to do with pet talks.
talks.
So pet talks, as in, I thought like, we need to do it as TED talks. We would do. No?
See,
Like
this,
that
this is what I told. She will have a
the
wider
idea-
vision. Actually.
So the pet talks. So what will the name will be like? We can keep it as like the Josh talks kind of pet talks. Kind. So we'll keep it as pet talks. What is pet? He was like, what is pet? Instead of T, you replaced it P. Is it? No, this is physiotherapy, educational, developmental programs. And he was like, where did you get this name?
That's what
That's why she's a pet.
That's what. So PED, so pet talks. So like then I thought like inside this pet talks I should have only young talents and not like kind of people who are
Already have a
already
name.
having a name. And yes, we do like kind of connect with panel discussions. We do connect with lectures and all to share their experience. That is more important with the seniors
because their
inside.
experience, knowledge
Exactly.
is completely
But
different.
we need young talents to have a platform. That needs to be created and we need to pull in. And before starting like this, when it started with IAP, he was the one telling like, bring in new people. Why to call in the same people, same old people, and costing more of the workshops, and they charge many, like few of them
Basically,
like.
I am against these workshops.
So So I'm so happy to see some people are really putting their time and effort to make new people, not only the ideology of new people, like trying to get the profession to a next level, but these things naming like unsounded, unheard by many others,
Again, I'm saying there are a lot of people doing
doing
these
these
things, but
things, but many
maybe
people are not
unrecognized.
aware of it.
Exactly.
That's true.
So when people ask me, like, what certification I should do, what is the course I need to do, like, what is the next step I need to focus and set your goal first, that you need to do something like
PPT
this
is more
only.
than enough to do
Exactly.
Start a
everything.
career.
Exactly. To start, you're a physiotherapist. Like, this question should not raise in the internship. This question should be raising to you at the time of third years or fourth
Again,
years,
it's the influence of social media.
So it
And
is
also
both the way.
many people, for example, are like our human mind kind of like a herd format. So what we others do, we
Yes.
tend to do that.
True,
So it's a herd format, and if someone
But
is
success depends.
depends person to person, but that too, if some person is successful on that level,
Yes.
we will follow. For example, like me,
Exactly.
when I definitely in this podcast, I'm gonna put all the your resume things had. So when people will definitely take a screenshot of it and they'll go and read and
Read,
everything,
exactly.
and they'll get excited about it and they want to do it as well. But you did that because you found it on your own along the
Exactly.
way what you made. But everyone needs to have the journey.
Exactly.
But everyone wants to bypass it and like, okay, if I
True.
do this, then I'll be also be in
Exactly.
a
The
good place.
focus should be one. Like, you want to work towards patient care. You want, see, I had a notion, like, when I was doing my internship, I used to be very good with children. I used to be very good with children, with my face cut and all. People used to tell me, like my friends and all used to tell me, and you're so silent, you're so caring, and you will be like kind of, see, Mother Teresa speak also is here. So
Even
it's like,
I do notice that when
Yeah,
first we met on a event on one particular event, you were sat next to me and you are the head. I'll be like, she's the head when she's sitting next to me. I was like wondering for a few minutes because even when I take an online class, the responsibilities are pretty high and I'll be like so stressful and we do create certain things like I'm busy. But you'll be like sitting and that too so sad in the last and I'll be like, okay, what is happening?
so everything there, I know what is happening. Like, whatever they were
You were
reading.
controlling everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you know what happens
Yes,
in the
we actually, the both the events, like, whatever we know what is happening, and we work towards it at the back. And it's just seeing, like, what is flowing there. Whatever the conference it can be, the event or anything, we could have streamlined everything, the outer part.
We'll get connected to people very
Yeah, I
easily.
was
So
like missing
they-
about it actually. So I was talking about it. So, but I didn't get into that, the pediatric thing or anything, because my journey turned, like, shifted towards something where it needed more focus. When I started, it was like when I could have entered there, like, with the pediatric work or anything, my journey could have been different. That is like, kind of very slowly moving. But my life actually took a twist and, kind of turned into a clinical part and, entrepreneurship that was more demanding a controlled position. It doesn't have to be very soft and kind of, it needed dimensions.
Why I really want to stress this because it's like people personas differs from you and me and all, but when it comes to being in a position, people wants you to like walk here and there and controlling certain people and doing this stuff. Why I'm really stressing out because people do need to know that that is not the only way to do a certain thing.
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Because again, if we look at someone and we want to do the same, but it's not the only way to do that. You can be like her, controlling everything, doing everything, but sitting silently and doing. So I really want to emphasize this because I do know what is the impact of social media. I do know what is the impact of everything, but I really want to emphasize this because whenever people ask me like why you are being like this, why you are being like this, they are making like belittled. I'm being a person and a normal because people want us to fit in a certain box,
Exactly.
which is actually not needed.
See, people will easily understand when you act.
True, very true, very true. That too, when you want to copy
Yes,
and
yes,
certain things. That's
You be yourself, you will be get identified.
True.
very true. And that too,
See,
no.
I can't be him and he can't be me. So he has his own personality and he shines in it. I have my own person, and he can't be like, kind of. We don't do that, but still, it's like that only. People are different personalities, right? You are a personality. I have my own
Own
thing.
things.
So that own kind of reflect back, like, if I'm changing my, mirror, kind of,
Your
So
inner
yes,
inner
exactly.
soul should be
That's what.
We can't act
Exactly, that's the
all the
word.
times.
A single sentence, you cannot act. People will easily find out. Then
that too in our profession we
yes.
shouldn't act.
that's why we didn't actually start a profile, kind of, Insta profile or a podcast when
We
we
do
do
have,
that.
but
We just have to have a very nominal pace on that. So
Because I think
that
that
became
needs
mandatory, right? So open a profile.
yeah, like I'm agreeing the fact, because we need, for example, when we opening certain things, we need to have a like a visiting
Exactly.
card to
Yes, yes.
the same way social media is
Exactly.
like a now like a platform.
True,
Because
true.
when even for example when I'm looking for a studio, I searched on social media because that's where we often go to.
Yes.
So having a social media profile is like a good thing, but your inner thing, for example, if you want to be successful, that doesn't mean you have to
Yes.
show all the things what you do, and like not we need to create a big thing. You can be successful, you can do multiple things which is of subtle if your character fits into. Why I really want to emphasize again, social media taking a very big influence on right now in young physios mindset.
So it's kind of maybe an input or a thing, maybe a reviewer kind of, when I'm all seeing all the reels and all, it can be a review right now. When I see that some of the reels only will, or the content will have that soul, the truth, or like, the true, that I have to tell this because my notion is only this, nothing else. We can feel it as an audience. I'm telling, as an audience, I can feel it. When you're giving a content, I can feel that, you're giving only that content and nothing else. If you give that, notion to the audience, then you'll give the,
Yes, I strongly believe we cannot travel a long way with these content creators.
just to it, kind of
Like just to
notion.
want to get an attention.
Yes.
Attention.
Attention,
Yes.
it is not a
Attention is
right
different.
platform. You have a
Yes.
if you want to do it, definitely.
Knowledge matters.
Yes, definitely knowledge matters. And if anyone wants to have a social media, yes, definitely you can have it. But you shouldn't start your career only for being on social media.
Yes.
That's
Exactly.
the
Yes.
clean
True.
point. We really wanted to do it. Then you can ask, then why you are having a social media profile like me? Well, my profile is like doing it online. So social media is like only
We
platform.
have clarified that already.
Yeah. Because it's an online thing, so I need it. That doesn't mean everyone needs to have a social media profile in a strong manner and you need to do a regular content or something like that.
No,
if you feel it, you can do it.
If
But
they
that
are
is
not
a
successful in social media, they are thinking they are failed in their profession.
Exactly. True. If you are not successful in
Yes.
social media, but
That's
be a
not a matter,
physiotherapist,
right? Yes.
not being successful in social media is not a big
Yes.
thing for us. That's true. I really want to emphasize because for physios, they are thinking like, no, I need to have a social media profile. Please have it. I'm totally agreeing to it. But that doesn't mean, as sir mentioned, if you are not successful in it, if you are not having one, that doesn't mean you are not fit for this career or you are not successful in this
Likes
career.
and comments doesn't decide your profile or your
true.
profession.
That's really true. Social media, in that too, and when it comes to physiotherapy, it's a medium to show who you are. It's not the only place to have a career.
One of the place to show you are.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, non-professionals are claiming themselves and physiotherapists, and they are putting reels and everything and getting likes and
You
comments,
have
right?
to define yourself that way.
True. And also, when it comes to this,
Actually, we should mention these things so people will understand, right? Who are
Yeah,
real
accepting
physiotherapists
that,
and
but still,
yeah, like nowadays it's very easy to come in social media. It's hard to get a physiotherapy degree. It's easy to get a social
That's
media.
what I want
It's
to mention.
open to have a social media profile. And when it comes to physiotherapy, like how this, like when you started IAP, now you are doing your own private practice. Now you came along your way of 20 years having this experience and all. Now how you look physiotherapy and how what are the not the advices, what are the suggestions you want to say for the young physios, like you have mentioned many things like already previously, but nowadays they want like masters is not necessary. Now you have mentioned if it's for a clinical practice, but now when you look at your younger physios, what is the mindset you are getting from them? Like I'm not asking, like pros and cons both.
see,
go first and then I'll go.
I'm saying people are nowadays students are not so serious on the profession. I'm seeing internship students, and I'm going to colleges. I'm seeing everyone, but people are not very much interested in the profession, except few. I don't know what's their mindset.
I do believe many areas everyone like that. Half of the people will have the mindset, half of the people will not have the mindset. But again, as we discussed already, when we are done with the UG only we get the reality that we need to work. But right now they are in a college mindset, right? So
Yes, yes.
that might be the
That's
play
what the responsibility will create a evolution, and
revolution
they'll
inside
be
of us.
So
yes.
this is like kind of a process, as he told, like, people, they are not responsible, they everybody, like, in the first years,
Particularly,
even
they
as he
don't
said,
listen to the advices we give.
everybody, right? Like, in the first years, you're just a kid.
Maybe this generation is.
No. That's what
Like for
I'm not
example,
supporting it,
yeah,
but still, I'm just saying, in the first years, you'll be playful and
yeah,
you just
true, true.
you want something,
That's
you get it.
right.
That's
That's
adamant.
right.
No, I'm just saying, it's like, if you want something, you get it. Like, that is like, not irresponsibility and all, is like kind of a feature in that age. But, not
No. What
about,
I'm saying is
no.
they are not serious about the profession.
That's what
I
that's what
think
I'm
they are
coming
mostly
to.
money minded.
That's what he is very right about. He is not serious about the profession. Yes, the discipline is not there. Whatever we were like, expected to do those days, the discipline is not there. He's right about it. But what I'm telling is, it is very common to be irresponsible in that age, but not towards the profession.
Yeah,
Because like
that's what I'm
I'm
coming to.
really I'm getting the point what it is like everyone when we are done with the UG even when starting physiotherapy the first Google search how much I can earn after completing
Right.
physiotherapy
That's what I'm
because
coming to
that's
the
what the
point.
mindset even when you had like
Quick.
I think sir was trying to say is when you are in internship they were asking questions sir which I can do I can able to get more money
Yes,
See,
paid off
I'll
it
give
because
you the
that is not
difference.
the notion of it you need a process to actually earn it's not like okay done with the UG
Every
sitting in a
profession.
place will get
See,
you our
not
money
only
it will be
not only physiotherapy. Every profession we
field
should
have
work
that.
hard
See,
to
it is
get to
get an
our
about,
idea
stage.
yes,
as an
yes.
like, we got this much of experience. This is about the notion where, you, as we were speaking about social media, it's about clicks, like, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, immediately everything is happening. So people are also like thinking, like, when I finish something, like, I'll gonna earn something, so it should happen immediately. It is
See,
not
again,
like that.
entering into social media is also for money.
Right. That is
True,
there.
true, true,
But yeah,
true,
it is at our age, like our generation, we traveled, like, we waited for something. We had that wait time for something, like, even it can be maybe a food delivery. Maybe, we waited for something. Our father will get this, or, it'll come later, 2 days I'll wait for this. This wait time is nowhere
nowhere
here.
here
In any of the
true
places, there
true
is
true
none. You can't find any wait times here. They just want to reduce the wait
wait time
times. That is
wanted
the business there.
accelerate the things
Exactly.
more
So that doesn't happen in a profession.
that too are evolving
Yes,
profession
yes.
Evolving and a
the
growing
growing profession
profession, it takes time. Evolve as you only. It is like me as Janani and he as Mr. Vignesh. We evolved,
together
right? So that's how you evolve. It's not about, like, evolution doesn't happen
when
the next
one
day.
day true. I think that's really needs to get on their mind.
Exactly.
But because even I did that Google research when because we have to be little honest. Yes, I do
Money
that little
matters.
research when I'm doing like physiotherapy, what kind of money I will get.
Yes.
But after completing physiotherapy, yes, money do plays a major
Yes,
role.
yes,
But
yes.
what you do
But you
actually
should
also
take some time to choose
to
the right path. Yes.
analyze in certain things. That's
Next
really
day you cannot do anything, right?
Maybe we'll give them a timeline for the students if it's UG, like, you're
See,
gonna,
even
like,
if you're starting a clinic or doing a business, you should wait for 6 months or 1 year
time.
to grow.
give
I
a
have
timeline.
I have heard stories like in the first 1 year you need to
Yes.
it will check your patience when you started your own private practice that too without anyone's referral something you need a certain level of patience to get patience that's
See,
really
my salary, like he said, like, it was 8K in a fitness center. My salary was 3K in a clinic. 3,000. Just 2,700. It was just that. But I went and just, I
For
saw
4 hours.
10. Yeah,
as you
4
mentioned.
hours. But yeah, 4 hours, 2,500.
the main important question can physiotherapist add a prefix doctor or not from your point of view can we add or not first secondary why you like to keep it because I do know that you address yourself as a physiotherapist rather than putting a doctor I'm completely towards it but why you are suggesting to put as a PT rather than DR in
A
front of
million
you?
dollar question.
So what's your say on it?
You can go ahead first.
See, actually, in our constitution, the prefix is a matter of tradition and convention. So no one can stop us from prefixing DR. And
See, matter
the
of
the the
I'll
the
just
fight for
stop here.
yes.
A matter of convention, traditional convention, as in DR is not a profession; it is a title. It's just a before prefix. You don't have to, formulate it. The society demands, like, even if a person gives you a kashayam, he's a doctor. It's convention,
See,
tradition.
people are seeing the fight for the prefix as a pride. No, it's not for the pride. The prefix is not for the fight for prefix is not for the pride, but it's very much connected to the individual practice. I mean first contact practice.
First hand.
Yes. Maybe city like Chennai, people can practice with or without prefix, but
Prefix.
when you go to other district, it makes a
It
much
needs,
difference.
yes.
First contact practice. So see, a few months ago, I've seen an Instagram post. There was a discussion about this. The proud to be a physiotherapist thing. Yeah, everyone are proud to be a physiotherapist. I'm proud to, but the doctor prefix is so much connected with the individual practice. So everyone should have this thought.
First. But now when in UG type of student, like in the student mindset, it will be always like, even I'm on social media, right? I do get lot of DMs like, can we put DR or not? And if I know I'm not using it, so if they means, then why you are not using it? So
I'll
now,
ask you a question. If anyone has got a problem of prefixing,
no, from my opinion, I have not heard about it. Yeah,
no,
sure.
no one has not. So what's the problem in prefixing? Actually, the matter is in court. We cannot go into
Disclose
deep
details.
into this. But no one had problem of prefixing. As a growing profession, we'll have lots of glitches. That's not a problem. But we should prefix. Not for our cast, for the profession.
Profession cost. We can prefix
Yes.
ourselves. DR.
Suffix PT.
Yes, suffix with PT, prefix with DR. We
So
can.
it doesn't make any
Make a
confusion
Confusions
to
to
the
the other people for a wider audience.
See, the problem is they are claiming that we are prefixing doctor and prescribing medicines. So we doesn't do that,
doesn't
right?
do it.
So we
Yeah,
can
that's true.
prefix PT and we do our practice.
Practice
You
more
prescribe only exercises.
Yes.
and
We
not
do.
med- That's
You should be proud of it only.
yeah.
Not be calling as a
It's like
physiotherapist or doctor. That's not an issue. When we are in our borders, we face no problems.
With some social responsibility, when you think this, right? With some social responsibility, like, from a layman term, like, from your perspective of your father or your, other mates, like, who doesn't know about a medical profession. If you think about those people, so they'll be like, when you call a doctor, they'll be like, oh, doctor. You think like, yeah, I'm a physio, like, I do this. The pride that you give towards them and the attitude that you give towards the society will change it. Actually, it has changed
A
because
lot.
like, from our times, it has like evolved so much. So if we are like not prefixing doctor in our ages, we won't be getting any patients also, like, we won't be like the people
Still now, if you go to down south,
Yes.
you should prefix doctor. Otherwise,
or else the
patient will
people
not
won't
turn up to
know.
you.
They won't turn up to you. So that's the reality, that's the practicality. But right now here in the major cities and all, you should be
Yes.
it's like, it has changed right now. We were in that age
People are
also.
searching for us in the
Yes,
cities.
the physios.
Physios
Yes.
rather than not
Yes.
doctors.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. The phase of the profession has changed.
Changed pretty much.
Who has changed it? The evolution has changed.
Even
People-
doctors are coming to us. Right.
True.
physicians.
Physicians
To
to be
be correcting it. Yeah,
Yes.
physicians.
If they have a pain
Yes.
anywhere around their body,
yeah.
they will come to us. That's true.
It has to be a specialization. See, I address as like, go to the, I won't address my the clients or the patients like, go to the doctor and give me a report. I'll address them and go to a physician, go to a gynecologist, go to an neurologist, go to a physiotherapist. That's how you address the profession. DR is a title. They are just fighting about it. Leave it. That's it. It's about the
Don't
convention
get
and
into the
tradition.
political
thing.
thing. That's not needed.
See, if it is needed dr and suffix pt, you go ahead and change the face of it. That's how I'll say. You prefix it. If you want, I'll put it. Not a problem in that. But I'll change the face of my profession.
I
That's
want
it.
to mention this. Actually, in that post, everyone from Chennai was claiming I'm very proud to be mentioning as a physiotherapist. But this mindset should be changed. Everyone should prefix.
So they are happy to prefix them as DR for the other individual who have a wider audience, and they should happy to say physiotherapist when they are talking with our setup. Then that would make
The
it more
unity,
clear.
the unity is
Very
most
clear.
important, right? Everyone, from one to every physio should maybe they should be in the same mindset.
True.
See, if one doesn't want a prefix, one want a prefix, that will create a lot of confusion, right?
Yes, even that will create a confusion among
That
the
to
people.
Yes.
our evaluation.
Exactly, that is actually a break there. Right now, we actually evolved from we can and suffixing pt, and that is taking a
No
root.
problem, right?
And some of
Do
the
we have any
influencers or
problems?
the social media people are like, we are proud to be a physiotherapist as well. We don't want to that prefix also, but we have traveled a lot. With that we have traveled a lot. We have gained some momentum on that, but breaking there and again getting into a confusion will infuse a confusion in the people. Like who is a general audience. That should not be there.
There are mainly legal things in this. We cannot go into this, but everything is positive for us. So
Again, we
Yes.
can use DR. Physiotherapist can use DR as
it's a
their
matter of tradition
prefix.
and convention.
And again, it's a matter of tradition and convention for a wider audience.
Yes.
Right.
Not to say who we are and
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
do.
yes.
It's not for that need. We are putting it as so that the wider audience do address us and we can
One-
easy
We
to
are
access.
staying in our scope of practice.
True.
So then
And
why
so,
should I be afraid
along
of
with
everything?
DR, put a suffix
Yes.
PT.
Right.
It's a mandatory again.
Yes.
So if you are just putting it at DR, then you get into a bigger notion that who you are.
Yes.
If you suffix with PT, then it will be very clear that you
See,
are a
a
physiotherapist
60-year-old
who are from a medical field.
Right. A
That's it.
60-year-old or a 70-year-old, and I'm not mentioning the age, but still a person who doesn't know, to just to read, who's coming via your clinic and sees your name board and, having this notion, whether he can prescribe medicines, because DR is a terminology where when you see, okay, a person will prescribe me medicines, this person will give me pain. No, you have to when you suffix this with PT and mention as physiotherapist, that person will think, okay, he's a physio and he won't give me any medicines. That's the point of view we are
No,
looking
people
ahead.
are
It's
very
not
clear
about
right now.
defining
Maybe
you.
10 years back, this
This I'm
confusion would
talking
be
about
there.
maybe in
Like
state,
Ah, but
come
nowadays people are very clear.
But I'm coming from not an urbanized area, rural area, but still that problem
Yes.
is there.
Yes, that's
People
what
will
we
come,
were talking about.
people we will come and after finishing the therapy, they'll be like, "Can you suggest me some medicines which I
Exactly.
can take
In
my
Chennai,
home?"
in and around Chennai itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just think of down south and
Down south.
Yeah, because still
So that's where we should be very responsible. That's where I mentioned social that's where we should be responsible, that we should not be confusing rather than to taking the pride that I'm proud of a physio and
Or proud
that
of
this
putting
and all.
DR.
No.
that's what I want to say, the saying budding videos. Without knowing anything, don't bluff something in social media.
Flattering out everybody are proud of it, everybody are proud of who they are basically, but not confusing the momentum.
These things will make people suffer. They don't understand that.
You're serving the society, right? So that should not happen.
Everyone are proud to be a physiotherapist. No doubt. in
No
it.
doubt
if we
about
are
it.
in a
Yes.
field, you should be.
Yes. But claiming
not
it
a
is of no use.
Claiming is, if you claim it, it is not going to change. If you not claim it, it is not going to change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, it's difference against person to person. What they think they will.
Personally, everyone will be happy for prefixing, right?
That's true. Very true. That too, their early
That's in our
stages.
society.
That too, even in early stages, they will be. For example, if I want to be very honest with you, right now I don't want any prefix or something because I have my ground. I know what I do, so I don't.
But if you have rights to prefix, what will you do? You will be happy, right?
If from my point of view, I wouldn't be because I have made my mind to be happy with what my ground is.
That's
So
what.
I don't need. But let me give an explanation. If my father or mother seeing me in any portion or something, if that
Exactly.
prefix is there, they'll be like, see,
Yes.
Anu name,
Yes.
this
Yes.
dr is there.
Yes.
They'll be so happy about it. I'm
So who are you serving? It's like the people.
People.
So if they are, if
for
we
their
don't want to
capturing
confuse,
we need a prefix. That's true. But after because I was in the era where the legal things were happening, whether we can put or not put, so I was totally confused with it. But now I'm not
Every medical profession has this
a
legal
fit
fight. So that's
it's not like a huge
problem.
thing
Yes.
also. But now I have a very clear mindset that I don't want to show myself as a prefix with something or something. This is my career. I want everyone to know what I do. That's it. For this, I don't need a prefix. As you mentioned, right now, if someone is putting a DR, I don't think I'd be happy. Because now I made my ground, I know what you do. If they put a DR, it'd be like, okay, they added it. If they
But
added
I'm
it, I'll be
emphasizing.
like,
But
happy.
I'm emphasizing to
The
use
larger
the
audience.
prefix.
Larger
Yes.
audience. Again, that's what. Now I have an clarity, maybe because of my brain or something, but not many people will not have that clarity. That is why we are making this conversation
Exactly.
very clear that you can add a prefix, you need to add a suffix as well when you are adding a prefix with PT. But again, the prefix and suffix is not to prove who you are.
Yes.
It's your ground. It's if how I would say how sincere, how disciplined, how lovable you are doing your career. That matters the most rather than the prefix and suffix. Again, as you mentioned, by word of mouth, anyway you will get a name out
your
of
work
it,
speaks.
rather than whatever the
Yeah.
Yes.
second category.
Exactly.
Because I do had that mindset when someone asks why you're not doing masters or something. I love to do. First, I have not done because of my financial background. Now I need to do. I love to do. But now why I'm not doing again? I just wanted to see what can I do with my UG degree, so that again a different thinking
Perspective.
process. And now I don't want others to tell this because some people are looking up to me. So I don't want to prove the same idea. You need to have a certain things. You need to have a certificate, because certificate will give you an idea, but that doesn't mean it will give you all the knowledge. Whatever you read, whatever you do, that matters rather than a certificate.
You meet people, you meet a lot
True.
of people, you
True.
see a lot
True.
of patients. That is
True.
your certification.
True.
That is
True.
your knowledge gain.
If someone is doing for
Contacts has brought me to this
yeah,
stage.
clear,
Seriously.
very clear.
Saying a hi to a next person brought us here. That's it.
It's
Simple.
true,
Saying a
true,
hi, giving a smile to another person.
Even we
treating
had a conversations as such.
same. Exactly.
Without
so that
anything.
made us like, the circle bigger. So that brought us here. That, made us to, kind of to analyze people. That's how you study human. You are like, working in a healthcare profession, you analyze them.
True.
So that's how it works.
Okay, why I really want to stress this point, because people love to do certifications. I'm so open when someone is asking me, please do, if you are interested, please do. But always don't think if I get this certificate, I'll do this thing. Because certificate, it's a paper which shows who you are, but that doesn't mean that knowledge will be in you unless until you worked for it. So they should be also
See,
happy about
again,
it.
coming to a legal point, this certification is not valid until it recognized by UGC, right?
True, true, true.
So I can print a certificate, you can print a certificate, she can print a certificate.
Exactly.
What is the use of it?
So
Unless until
don't pay too much.
You have a
kind of
degree certificate, right?
20,000.
That's more than enough for everything.
30,000. This is like kind of killing money with, that doesn't look good. I don't
That
support it.
doesn't make any difference in your practice too.
real. So that is like, if you want to gain some knowledge, you can do. You can
Yes,
do.
yes.
That doesn't mean. But don't think if I'll join this, I'll be get in a position, because that is not a right thing to do.
Yes.
Right? You need a UG degree to practice. We are not denying the fact. You need it. But the additionals we were talking on, if you need, you love to do, because you also did a certification because you want to practice in
Yes, you wanted
aquatherapy,
to
which
know.
you did. That is what. But you never said like, okay, if I get this certificate, if I did this, I'll get this. So that is
After
like that
practicing
mindset.
only you
Yeah,
did
that's
it.
the mindset I really wanted to stress about.
Exactly. Right.
So final question, like, what is your feedback and for students, like what are the books they can read, or because right now evidence based management become a huge thing. Previously also, but right now it's going faster. So any websites to read articles or any book recommendations? you would love to suggest for students?
See, as like
Again, I would like to say,
Yeah.
study the basics.
Yes, basics.
Just read a physiology. That's more than enough.
That's
See,
true.
seriously, I'm saying.
Physiology and exercise physiology.
Yes.
Two.
It has
Physiology
exercise
and
physiology,
motion.
right?
Right, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We studied in Chowdhury, right? It has
Yes.
a wonderful exercise physiology in it.
True. True.
That's the basic that
If we
have.
understand it, we'll understand everything.
Clear.
See, he mentioned about a book which is like kind of, people will be like,
You know,
reading
while
it still now.
student life, it was vague. We
Vague.
cannot understand what was that.
Right now,
But
if
right
I
now,
pick it, it is like, we were like doing magic on the patients. That's how it works. It is not about the book that is evolving. That is you that is evolving.
The
See,
way you
again,
see
Exactly.
the
after a
success
certain
rate.
things.
The success rate of the patients thought of doing like this and reading like this.
So when you are asking a clinicians like us, like obviously you will be getting like not the number of books, to recommendations and all. So we had that one book and the article sufficient to it, which related to it, and we had that. So when we see a patient, like we might have gone through an article which said like this two things will work on it efficiently. The very few thing, the low back ache, right? We have n number of articles for that, but we give deadlift for low back ache. We train them. The recent tagline of Arrow Green is uh, disc bulge to deadlift. Disc bulge to deadlift is our recent tagline for
we
Arrow
have
Green.
evidences for everything.
Everything.
We have a number of herniation herniated disc
We
patients.
don't have an article.
See, actually,
like,
we are in an IT based area, so
but when
we
we
have
search
lots of
for
back
it,
pain
when
patients.
we search for an article for it, we have separately like strength training, we have resistance training, and some kind of electrotherapy induced, any psychological also. We have all the articles surrounding that. But when you see like directly like from disc pulse to deadlift, it's kind of a like maybe a 2 week or a 3 week process for a mechanical low back pain I'm telling about. So that timeline, we are seeing it actually 3 weeks and 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we are seeing the patient go from that stage to a deadlift. So that is the kind of documentation we have. So that is a personalized thing that you need to have, and not search for other things. You relate it and you practice it out. What works for the patient best.
Yeah, students are getting distracted because of these certification courses. Actually,
He's back into that actually.
no.
Yeah. True, very true.
Very true. Because many things comes along as again our evolving career,
Yes.
evolving industry. Many things comes along and do it. And final, like when I called you for a podcast, what you really felt and what made you to okay, let's talk.
Earlier, I
on the
mentioned
pre-
that I
Now
came
never
because you
came.
only call. I have never gone for any these things.
So what actually made that point?
And again,
when
I told
called
you was in the right way.
Yeah,
I'm so glad about
the path that you have chosen to represent yourself, right? The media, the light that focuses you is not distracted. Like you have your focus right. That's what I'm like mentioning from
the
the
very
start,
first
very
call.
beginning. The focus should not be scattered. So for you, I kind of mentioned on phone
So, many
personally also
times.
the same thing I'm mentioning it here. The focus is not shifted, the focus is the same. So I wish like the focus is not shifting further also. So
It wouldn't
because
be.
like that's what the limelight does. The limelight does distract us.
You will
Even
get pushed into that.
exactly. So even when I had few things, I was forced to do many things basically, like going in before a celebrity, greeting them in a very odd smiles, and going under like giving them a bouquet, shawl, and this were all expected from a person in my
Position, in your
position.
position.
So which I was not into it.
Ready for
So ready, it's not about ready for it, you have to mend towards it actually. But I was like hesitant to do it kind of. So I was like okay, so these positions need some kind of calibrations as such. But that's what I'm saying, these distractions will be there, but as your focus, I was not deviated from that. My focus was there. So I haven't like mended anything for some kind of a celebrity or some kind of a VIP. I haven't mended anything. So I was me. So that focus I kind of saw in you. So maybe that distraction was not there. So I wish, like, in future also that distraction doesn't
No,
happen.
never come, never come.
So
Because I do get think that when you love what you do, you will have a clarity what you need to do. Because you
exactly.
know if we do why you are doing it, whether you loved it or the other people will want you to do it.
See, the word that you used right now, you love something, it is about the love you to
Do it
even
or
if it is a human being or it is a profession.
yes, true.
The love that you show towards a kindness, that is actually a very, it's kind of a pinch of a salt right now. It's like, it
For
is not
that,
scattered.
you don't expect any other validation.
Exactly.
That's what I'll be very clear. If I'm loving something, I'll do it. I don't need others' validation to
True.
it. I'll do whether it's right or wrong. Let me be me.
People will
Stand.
understand whether it
Yeah,
is
it's
right.
right or wrong.
Whether when it is right, when it is
It will.
right, people will understand for
That's
sure.
true. That's true. That's true. And so I like right now we talked a lot. So I'm so happy, really happy because we discussed a lot of things and you really gave me a lot of insights which I never really thought ever before. And still now I'm so happy that I really invited you and you both really made it wonderful, wonderful. And you both made more comfortable because I was really nervous at the time because this is my first time having a guest who is like in a very big positions. I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna speak and all. But you really made me so happy, and I really made physio students, the upcoming people, to have the clarity what we need to do, how we need to look on. And I really wish people do get inspired of your practice, how you made on your way, rather than following any other's path. I'm so happy about it. Thank you so much for coming once
Thank you,
again.
thank you
Thank you,
so
thank
much
you.
for having us, basically. So because this is an era or the trend that is happening where people see a lot on phones, social medias, and this was an opportunity to reach them, basically.
Yes,
So
true.
thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.